Oh, okay, okay. It just randomly decided it didn't want that microphone. It wanted a different microphone, actually. That microphone just wasn't good enough. Sure. Sure. That's fine. I'm not mad. Anyway, I have about an hour. There we go. Let me pause 1 second, because I want to look at... Because Monami Park is... Ooh, yeah, it's early access. That's what I figured. I was wondering if they'd have, like, an update for how... I think Mom might be home. Okay. It doesn't say. It doesn't say how far along the game is. But I will say all the basics are here. Of course. What are you upset about? Oh no, you're sleeping. All the basics are in the game already. They could call it finished, and it would probably be fine. And I have very few nitpicks. I've played for a while now. I've unlocked all the ranch areas. And I've put stuff in each one. And almost all of my gripes are similar to the ones that I had before. Wherein, like, all of the ranch areas that aren't the main area take a long time to get to. There aren't as many spots as would be, like, useful. Like, I've been trying to play with almost all of the slimes being just regular small ones that I can vacuum up, and there just aren't enough spaces, which is unfortunate. I also think that, like, the game relies really, really heavily, just like it did in the last one, on you, doing stuff manually, which I don't have a problem with. It's that everything is so far away that it takes me a full in-game day to, like, sort out these guys, because I can only suck up 40 items at once. And so going through and picking up all of their, like, plorts and everything takes ages. And it's very focused on me going places. But if I go places, it takes ages to get back. And what are you chewing on? Okay. It takes ages to get back. Unless you, like... Unless you cut your own exploration short and can't get very far. And if you leave them alone for very long at all, they run out of food, or get upset, or they run out of space to store more plorts, like, in the actual corrals, like, little plort sucker thing. And because I can only pick up 40 at a time, I have to make, like, 6 trips just to empty them all back out. So, if I go on a trip for, like, 2 or 3 days, I will spend another 2 or 3 days just doing this. Just doing this maintenance stuff. Which, I guess, is fine. or at least it would be fine if, like, it wasn't clear that part of the game is the actual, like, collection of a bunch of different slimes. And if, like, I had more storage space. I have scrambled to get this many slots just so that I can try to remedy this situation. And it's not working out well. I also don't sell as many as I normally would because it's a lot easier to just pop them into the refinery link. Like, it's way easier to pop them into the refinery link because the refinery links are a lot cheaper to make. And concerningly, I don't see any drones so far, which are kind of, like, needed. Like, you could see how many I pulled out, and I'm going to shoot most of them into this, just for ease of transport. I have a bunch of return home portals in and around my base just because it takes so long to walk back and forth that it's a genuine upgrade to be able to teleport back from here. And like I said, I don't have a lot of gripes with this game. It's mostly that. It's mostly that it takes forever to take care of my area, even though I have set it up exactly as I want it to be. So it's frustrating. And I'm hoping that when the game is finished, that they'll remedy that. Because it really is, like, it's one of those things where, like, because of it, I don't want to leave the ranch. Because I know if I do, it'll take forever for me to get back home. And by the time I get home, all of my slimes are going to be pissed. Like, all of this was, like, I don't know, I spent, like, maybe an hour or so just exploring and looking for stuff. And I came back and all of my slimes are out of food. All of their collectors are full. And I have to do the whole thing. Plus, when you leave the area for too long, for some reason the crops just don't stay there when they're supposed to. So you'll come back and it'll be like, oh, right, we're supposed to have crops here, waiting for you. With some of them, like, you know, with some of them, you know, ruined because I left them for too long. But there's supposed to be, like, a pile of them. And I'll get back and it'll be like, oh, well, only one thing happened, sorry. Which is unfortunate. I love all the stuff that they've added. These are the same issues that the other games absolutely had. Or the other game, sorry, absolutely had. I think some amount of built-in automation would really help. Just like some kind of base amount, I think, would go a long way. Like, maybe a button or something on each corral that just mass sells whatever's inside and I don't get to choose. I'd be fine with that. But something so that I don't have to run back and forth between the market link and the refinery like 6 times every time I leave my slimes alone for a little while. I don't mind there being, I guess not really a lack of automation, but like less automation. I don't mind it. It's just these bits. These bits where I can't like buy an upgrade to the corral to do this. Even if it's just like en masse and I have to physically press a button in order to do it. Because, like, they have collectors and feeders, right, on them. Totally fine. Completely functional. I can go here and I can activate the collector. I can change the speed here. By the way, these guys are adorable. It's just all of the grindy bits here, because it doesn't just end with this. This is the second time I've had to go through and clear everything from just these corrals. Right? I got back, I did this side because for some reason the vegetables go bad faster. And then I have to come back here because I ended up with just like one harvest's worth of food for them. And so I'm going to have to feed them again. Instead of it just piling up like it does with most of the other stuff. I don't know. I love the game. But, see, I left this area alone for like a couple of days in-game, while I did all of the other ones. And already, all the plorts are back, and I have to clear them out again. And it'll take like 2 or 3 cycles of this before they're at a point where I can call them like set up and cleared out for me to be able to go out again. Which is irritating. As much as I want there to be some work involved in the ranch, I also want, like, to be able to explore the exploration game. It's absolutely gorgeous, though. I love what they've done with it. I think it is, by far, one of the prettiest games I've played. And that includes the previous one, which had its own charm. I think I liked the chickens in the previous one better. That's about my only gripe, is that the chickens in this one look kind of like... You know how when you try to, like, draw a face with wrinkles, but you aren't trying to make someone look, like, ancient? You aren't trying to make an old man, you're just trying to make a man with like, laugh lines, you know? It feels kind of like that, where you went just slightly too heavy-handed on the shading, and now they look old. Oh my god. Please. I do appreciate just how much I can upgrade things. And I like that now it costs money to craft things. Because in the later game, finished. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. It's time to howl. It's howling time. I'm waiting for them to figure out that I'm still here. Oi! Yeah. I assume Mom just came home for a second to grab something and then had to leave again. Because one of her patients is in trouble. So, they had to scream. I don't know. I absolutely love this game. I only have problems with small bits of it. Stuff that I think is very fixable. Especially because they fixed a lot of the problems I had with the previous one. Like what I said, after a certain amount of time playing the previous one, you're just gaining money for gaining money's sake, because there's nothing of consequence to spend it on. At some point, you hit peak capitalism and you win, and then you can't do anything else. I like that it forces me to essentially buy the things that I craft. I think that's a cool idea. Ah, hiccups. I also think that it definitely improved, it improved meat farming substantially. With, in this case, these are Yoki slimes, and they like chickens. And if you put them in a corral with chickens, they get really happy about it. And they help the chickens make more chickens. That's an excellent mechanic, and it's also adorable, because look at him. He's so happy. He's having such a good time. And he's so fucking cute. I would die for these things. And I'll be honest, I don't need 4. I have 4 anyway. And it's because every time I see one, I grab him. Because I have to. Look at him. That is the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, look at him. They added new kinds of chickens. They made it much easier to farm them. Almost too easy. I'll be real. Because, boy, these guys, like, multiply fast. I think they might be faster than growing crops at this point. Which is, like, awesome, but it also means that I have, like, 100 extra chickens. And they lowered the amount of storage you can have. So, pros and cons. Like, all I have to do is feed them any other chickens I have for a little while, and then eventually I'll have enough. And at some point, I also tend to get, like, too many. Like, I don't even use these ones anymore. I still have almost 100 of them. Because I put my, my Tangle slimes in with my Angler slimes because I tested it and it was adorable. Huh. I wonder why that's not working anymore. Tangle slimes, I read in the thing, they have a new ability where if you keep them really well fed, they'll grow those vines. And when those vines are done growing, they drop out random fruit and like vegetables and stuff, which I think is a really cool mechanic. That is an excellent way to do that. Because genuinely, it improves. It improves, like, that kind of thing. I don't know if it's that they need new plants, or if it just stopped working after the first time it happened. If it's the second one, that's just kind of sad, but what are you gonna do? I will say that the chickens, like, being prolific at reproducing has made it a lot easier to keep straight hunter slimes, because I actually have enough roosters to feed them. I also like the little storefront. Like, there's blueprint stuff that I can buy. And then in here, if I don't want to craft things, I can just go here and buy a bunch of shit. Like, as I go through, it adds more stuff here. And it just gives me the blueprint, and they're all like, I think they're all variants of the base ones, so I have to know how to do the base one before I can do that. But still. I received another message from the AI that I have been in communication with since your arrival on Rainbow Island. The message was somewhat personal to me, but also contained vital information for you, so in the interest of presenting all data to its fullest, I will read it verbatim. Ahem. Victor, thank you for chatting with me over those many days in which I got to know you better. I must confess that I had entered our correspondence with the aim of verifying your scientific ability. Our correspondence has not only assured me of this, but unexpectedly has provided comfort and companionship in the dark days that I now find myself within. I am sending you a partial blueprint to a gadget I tried to develop but cannot. If you can complete it, I believe it is the key to entering the Grey Labyrinth. Please understand, Victor, that I never meant to deceive you, but I need to know who I can trust in order to stand a chance at fixing things. If that happens, I'd love to meet you someday. I'd love to play another game of Go over coffee until the sun rises once more. And that's all it says. What was given to me was a complex blueprint of partial schematics and frankly almost alien code. I have spent days analyzing it, and I believe I have modified it into a finished state that should perform the task that it was designed to do. At least I hope so. To be frank, I do not wish to let this person down. I feel I owe it to them, as a friend. So allow me to grant you the completed blueprint, per the instructions. It appears to be a device that you will need to use near the entrances to the labyrinth, but I am afraid I know little else. If unsure just how to use it, well, experiment. That is the only way to know of the unknown. Good luck, Beatrix. It seems we're all counting on you now. Oh, that's cool. Beatrix, I need a data point from you. I am running an experiment on the psychological impact of gift reception. Please tell me which of the following feelings you experience. Gratitude, joy, or perhaps hunger? Please do not consume this gift. Hey B, I got you a gift because, I don't know. Anyway, I hope you like it. Or don't. Whatever. Hey Mika, how are you feeling out there? When I feel lonesome, I go out and do something nice for a friend. Makes me feel right as rain every time. This is just my little way of saying I'm thinking of you. Aw. Don't worry, I'll tell her. You quiet now, I'm talking to her. Hey B, Hobson wanted you to have this. He says if you don't want it, it'll still make mighty fine kindling. Nice. Hello, fellow human. Has gifts for you. Yay. Chickens? So, it's also been really cool to go through, because these calls have slowly, like, told me things about the story. Which, like, of course, but I wasn't really expecting it to do that, because the last one didn't have a huge story. It was mostly Hobson's story. So it was him going through and finding the glass desert and finding that massive portal that was broken by the time I got to it. And all of that. So, actually, I should go down and see what I can craft while I talk about this. So this time, it's more my story. Like, Hobson is still there. He's at Thora's, and they're planning on having a kid, which is extremely cute and adorable, and she keeps calling to tell me about it. Nice. Nice. I've been collecting a ton of stuff. They also added in, this upgrade, the Tank Guard, which salvages some of my stuff if I die, which is amazing. As well as these flags, which are super useful. They show up on the map. They show up on the map when I put them down so that I can mark where I found things. Nice. I have a regular hydro turret? Nice. This one. What do I need for this? Ooh, I need 2 strange diamonds. That's quite a bit. And then I have a ton of decorations to use. Because whenever I find something in the Cuckoo Mart, I just grab it that I think looks cool. But yeah, it's been slowly unfolding that this area isn't natural. It's not supposed to be rainbow. Like, it's not supposed to have rainbows in the grass and everything. Everything isn't supposed to be just all the colors at once. Which kind of makes sense, because it does kind of look wild. And in one of the areas that actually I think I'm going to go to, because I need more wild honey anyway. One of the areas shows that there's like a 50-50 split between pink and blue. And then the other teleporter takes me to a place that's orange and green. And so on. And there's rifts and lava and everything. Like, somebody did something. And all of the little drones giving me messages have, you know, kind of also confirmed that whoever was here first fucked something up. They ruined something. They put stress on the environment, and it did this about it, right? And Ogden is actually one of the most informative on this because he flat out says, hey, there's no way that this is natural. I used to, like, he used to work in making, like, genetically modified food because he was in a food company that made, like, instant meals and shit. And he talks about how he can tell that everything in this has been genetically modified. And it might be native now, but it wasn't before. And it's just, it's fascinating. Everything here was, like, basically fucked up by somebody. My pet theory so far, I've gotten myself turned around. Hang on. Hang on. I need to figure out where the thing I'm going to is. There it is. Everything here has been messed with. None of it's how it should be. And the guy whose messages these is trying to fix it, and maybe he was the one that did it. And my pet theory is that it's Mochi Miles' dad. Because the last game hinted that she hasn't seen him in years. And that's why she's so pissy all the time. That's my pet theory. My pet theory is that it's him, and that he's trying to fix what he fucked up. Just look at this. The environments are gorgeous. It's almost like he tried to bring back the dry reef. Because the edges of all of these island places look similar to the dry reef if it was no longer dry. But yeah, this area, it's split like down the middle, and there's a rift. Let me go to it actually. If I can remember where it is. Do I still have? I don't still have the marker. Look, it's so gorgeous. I love the bright yellow sand. I think that's something that the dry reef was missing a little bit. Was a bright yellow color. Because the pink is everywhere there. It got really, like, oppressive at points. Which is unfortunate, because it really is pretty. I'm making my way. The game's gorgeous. Both of them are. They have such adorable, excellent art styles. And they deserve a lot of praise. Just because, like, look at these environments. But yeah, this one seems really focused on, like, the idea that all of these places have been modified, fucked with, and that because of that, they're suffering. There's stress fractures. Are there any beehives? I need some wild honey. There we go. I'm still getting used to this bit where I actually like go out and find resources instead of drilling for them. I spent a lot of time like trying to figure that shit out. But I don't blame the game for that. I blame my own stupidity. I blame my own inability to read, because it does say when I get the, when I originally upgraded my, my backpack, that I could now, like, suck up stuff. There. I haven't entered this rift yet. But this is one of the stress fractures. And I wonder if I can't. I kind of just assumed I could. But either way, the guy down there tells us that this used to be open much wider. And that this is what happens because of what whoever did. It kind of... It doesn't super explain it, but it kind of explains some of the stuff going on. And it almost explains these ruins, because in the last game they were just kind of there, but this time around these are everywhere. There are instances of these everywhere. There's also 2 new slimes that you can't get double ports from, which is why I ended up taking these guys and mixing them together, along with, these are actually a slime. In daylight, they turn to stone. They're, shit, what are they called? But they're like little raccoons. And they eat everything. But they don't have a favorite. So you have to combine them into a Largo in order to get double plorts, and the same goes for these guys, because they eat nectar, which you have to collect at night, every night, in order to get a decent amount of it. Oh yeah, this one takes me back here. I forgot about this. But I think... yeah. This area. Takes me back here. But I think this area has a thing to turn, or it has a portal nearby, if I remember right. What's that? There's a couple of other ones that have this portal design, but they don't have a way for me to activate it yet. Anyway, I'm gonna go back, because I still need wild honey. I don't know, it's fascinating. I love what they've done. Like I said, my only gripe is you can't leave them alone at any point after you have slimes. And you need to have slimes because you can't, like, You can't craft anything without money. It's just, God, it's so gorgeous. And I like the little pots. Ooh. There was a new place as well that I got to. The green and orange version, where it's all split up like this, has a portal that takes you to, a snowy island, which is gorgeous. Because there's like straight up Aurora Borealis trees, and these like deep red plants everywhere. How do I get over there again? I think there's a bridge. Or I could, or I'm just going to fly over actually. Yeah, I figured it out. I think what I figured out is that these ones that are like brighter orange are more likely to have honey in them, but sometimes that doesn't pan out. I love what they've done with all of the color. It's so pretty. And the new slimes are adorable. Like, I've gone back to some old combinations. I combined the Dervish and the Phosphors because I like them together. They look really cute. I've gone back to, combining the pink ones and the boom ones because they're kind of my least favorites. But I need the resources from them. I think definitely one of the new favorites is the angler ones because I love their dumb little faces. Let me see. I need more honey trees. Yeah, my main concern is that there's no drones so far. There's not even, like, a drone to work towards. That's, like, my big concern. So there's no way to automate my ranch so that I can go exploring. At least for a little while, because the drones had, like, a limiting factor, which I appreciated. Where you have to go by every now and then, every, like, day or so, and splash them with water, otherwise they won't keep going. Which I think is a good way to do it, just because that way I have an option, and they'll keep working for about a day after I leave, and that gives me a lot more time to explore, before I'm gonna start feeling like my slimes are gonna be pissed at me. And all my crops will be gone. Especially because, the chickens have a much higher, like, they have a way higher threshold for when they stop, making babies now. And the yolk slimes can, as long as there is still room, they can make one of those eggs and it hatches on its own after a while. I came back from my latest adventure and had the entire chicken coop filled with chickens. Like, literally stacked on top of each other, filled. Let's see. Do I see any more? There's one over there. Ooh, there's one there. I haven't figured out if there's a correlation between the pink and blue and what color the beehive turns out, or what the beehive produces, and I don't think there is one. It's just whether the beehive exists. Which, it only seems to exist in this area. Which feels weird. Yeah. I think definitely the most prohibitive bit has been that it's difficult to get to explore, and then like with the areas that are extended off of these main extension areas, they take forever to get to. Like, the area that takes me to the snowy area is really far away from, like, the home portal. I appreciate being able to place my own home portals, but everything is so far away from each other that I'm using most of them in my actual ranch. Which kind of sucks. But yeah, all of these environments are adorable and gorgeous, and the new mechanics are really well integrated. I think it just comes down to how long it takes to get everywhere, and there being no automation so far. Like, this is a long time to wait for even, like, teasing the ability, right? I've explored, to my knowledge, most of the game. At least, like, in passing. I've gotten, I think, most of the slimes. I've been able to collect I wonder if that blueprint can help me enter that rift. Because I think that's where it said that leads. Maybe go back and figure out what I need to get for that. And grab any honey we can on the way. I am getting close to time. But we're ignoring that. Time isn't real until my timer goes off. Which isn't for, like, 20 minutes, which might as well be forever. I'm expecting really good things from this game when it's done. Because Monomi Park has hit Slime Rancher 1 way past my expectations. I was not expecting there to be an entire storyline. I wasn't expecting there to be, like, half the shit that was in it. I wasn't expecting to be able to do most of what was in it. It had excellent polish. And I think, like I said, the only gripes I had with the game were fully because I'm ADHD and impatient, and I don't like having to do grindy tasks that aren't, like, interesting to complete, I guess. Which, for me... oh, bees. There we go. Which, for me, feeding and getting rid of the plorts myself is an annoying grindy task that I don't want to do. I like it in the beginning when I don't have to leave, like, the main area and can house all my slimes right there. But the moment I have to start splitting up into, the other ranching areas, it's just not my deal. It ain't my thing. I didn't show it very much, but in 1, I loved that, because I didn't know about it until I, like, had already reached the end of the freaking game. In the first one, you could eventually, like, gain even more areas, and I'm hoping that's the case with this one. I'm hoping that at some stage, I gain, like, access to a teleport that takes me to, new areas to unlock. Jesus Christ, Death. I'm hoping that's how it works out. I don't know if it will, because there aren't any teleport pads anywhere around my ranch. Admittedly, it is much bigger, so I'm not super struggling for space. Huh. But yeah, I consider, since I have to go out and get the things myself instead of just setting up, like, something near a teleporter that I can collect mined resources from, I do think that I'm glad that I like that that encourages me to explore. I don't like how long it takes when I don't have any automation on my farm. It just doesn't mesh well. But like I said, an easy fix for that would just to make it so that you can automatically sell from the corral, or you can set up the, like, an addition onto your farm that collects the items after a certain amount of time. Just stuff like that so that you don't come back and have nothing. Or just more fast travel, I guess. More fast travel would probably also be helpful. Because if I can get to the farther reaches quicker and easier, without having to, like, personally set a bunch of portals up, which I only have access to like two-way portals right now. All of the rest of them are just portals where I can set it up and it'll take me directly home, which is useful, but I still have to spend the time to get there. And then spend the time collecting resources. I think, yeah. That's probably, that would probably be my main quality of life, like, thing. Is that I want to be able to explore without worrying about that. I walked right past the observatory. I love this, by the way, because this building is gorgeous, and everything inside is gorgeous. Not that not that the dry reef wasn't gorgeous, but I do consider this a lot prettier. I think that it leans less heavily on a cohesive, like, underlying pink palette than the other one did. Actually, I'm going to feed them. All the old guys. But yeah, the chickens are not the bane of my existence, but they require so much upkeep. And that's without, they added a thing on here that sucks up all of the old ones for you. Which is incredibly useful. It's still a struggle, though. This is the fastest way that I've found to clear them out. Hi, Trax. What are you upset about? So whiny. Why are you so whiny? I don't know if you can hear him. Oh, for fuck's sake! Nobody is allowed near the house. But yeah, this is the fastest way that I've found. Is to just set up my little hotbar so that I can just go through and suck up everything. And then go back and put back what is actually needed. Oh wait, wrong one. Wrong chicken. There we go. But yeah, because of the... Where's my slime in here? Oh, there he is. Because of the Yoki slimes, these guys are entirely OP. I was gone for like 10 minutes, and I have this many new chickens. And while I was gone, it's already more ports than I can carry in one go. Yeah. Yeah. Let me put these guys in here. I only have 3 of them, and so at this point I just shoot them into the thing. There's not much of a point. Yeah, it's difficult to get rid of chickens. Which I am going to do real quick. Because now the storage only holds 100 per thing. Do I have a free slot to put these guys in? Oh yeah, I do. They're very minor gripes. For a game that's still in development, it's done an excellent job. This is a functional game, and I've had very few technical difficulties. It's mostly just been optimization issues. What's up, dude? Okay. I'm gonna take these down into the refinery and see if I can't craft that blueprint. And then I think we'll end because I have to get going. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. This is the place we just were that had the two-tone. So this might create like a permanent portal to there that I can place closer by, which would be nice. Where is it in here somewhere? This? Okay. I need lava dust. Okay. We'll do a quick check-in on the veggie guys and the fruit guys. And then we'll go get some lava dust. So I know where that is. Thankfully. Yeah, I've had to set so many portals so close by just to try and get this. Why do you wilt so fast? Why can't you be more like heartbeats? I just want to be able to sell them automatically. I don't even care if I have to like manually put them into the refinery. Just let me sell them automatically. That's what I want. Manually putting them into the refinery is whatever. But it does drive me insane that I can't just fucking sell them. It drives me nuts. I like being able to make the remote refineries and the remote market stalls. It still drives me nuts. I think the only slime so far that I'm missing is I don't have any rad slimes. Because I have the crystal slimes, I have the rock slimes, I have the rabbit slimes, I added the flutter slimes into the rock slimes because I thought it was the cutest combination. I was gonna add them to these guys, but their favorite food is already kind of hard to get, as evidenced by me feeding them carrots while I get together enough odd onions. I've got water and fire slimes. I've got tabby slimes, I have the saber slimes, the angler slimes, the tangle slimes, the hunters, the booms, the pinks, and then over in the fruit area, I've got honey, raccoon, I've got the batty slimes, I've got phosphor slimes, and oh, there goes my timer. I think I'm only missing rad slimes. Rad slimes and quantum slimes, actually. I'm missing them too. Are there meat slimes I'm missing? I don't think so. I think Tangle, Saber, Boom, Tabby, Hunter, yeah. I have all of them. So, unless they made a new one that I don't know about, I have all of them. I'm only missing the rad slimes and the quantum slimes. I would like the option to be able to keep all of my slimes and still have like their food growing and storage silos and stuff. I just think that that would be nice to be able to do without having to make any Largos. I understand making them for the ones that are hard to feed, like the flutter slimes, or making it so that you can get 2 plorts out of the raccoons or the pink ones. I was gone for 5 minutes. Do you see how ridiculous these things are? I've even tried to cut down on them by, like, by putting fewer, like, roosters and hens in to start the process over. It doesn't work. What if I just do 1 of each? What if you only have 1 rooster? Maybe that'll calm down a little bit. Jesus. Like, I'm considering at this point just jettisoning the chickens I don't use just into the slime sea. We're in dire straits here, man. Do I have a thing for... No? But yeah, this is a fully upgraded storage tower, and I don't have any room. I'm considering demolishing one of the coops. Because I'm that out of room. Making another storage silo. Just because, like, where do I put them? Actually, I think we might do that. I think we're going to combine all of them into 2 coops. And I genuinely think that that will be perfectly fine. Alright, I'm gonna demolish you. Nice, and we're gonna make another storage silo. And we're gonna buy storage. Because the amount of chickens is too many. So we're gonna combine these guys. Perfect. Alright. Okay, so I'm gonna grab all the blue ones and as many of the green ones as I can. And I think you guys have already eaten all the blue ones. I might start feeding them to the hunters and just fill up their thing. Just to get them out of the way. Because that's where we're at. That's where we're at with the chickens. There are so many. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, I don't think. Because genuinely there was an issue with how many chickens you'd get from a coop in Slime Rancher 1. I think I had legitimately... I think I had at least 10 coops and they barely fed my slimes. And I ended up, when I, like, got it ready, almost, for me to be done with the game, I actually went through and demolished some of them and had to reduce my number of slimes in each one in order to do that. I think I had to bring each one down to, like, 2 or 3. Just because chickens reproduce so slowly and had such a low cap for how many other chickens could be in the area and still have them reproduce. like, the upside is that they don't go bad very fast at all. They do eventually turn into, like, older versions. But, on the whole, they don't, like, get old quickly. And I think they've kind of, like, almost overcorrected. I appreciate it, though. Because being able to use just 1 or 2 coops to feed this many slimes is excellent. And it means that I'm actually, like, using different areas to make, I'm using the area I keep the pink and the boom slimes in to, sorry, to grow extra crops for ones that I've been struggling to get enough of. Actually, yeah. Hey, Duck. What do these guys actually? Put these guys here because the pink ones like the briar hens, or not the pink ones, the boom ones. So we'll keep them closer to this area. And just fill this entire section. And I think we'll keep the painted ones here too. I like being able to organize, man. It's a lot easier in games. Yeah, I will say that this is kind of frustrating. Just to have so many... and not enough room to put them anywhere. I'm gonna move these over to this side, and I'm gonna move these guys over to where that 100 stack is, because this will be a lot fewer trips. That way we can fill up this entire side with painted hens. Which I chose over the sea hens because they're pretty. Oops. I forgot I had to drop these guys off here. Hi. Hi. You smell what Mom's cooking? Huh? I don't actually know if she's cooking. She might have picked something up. which is also cooking. I have so many of these guys. I like having the extra. It's just difficult to get everything organized. I think we'll end up putting more of these guys on the other side. Yeah, because we have another 100. That's fine. We'll just put them on the other side here, and then I'll go for those first. For fodder for the other ones. I don't know how these guys are so prolific. I only got them like last night. I do kind of wish that I could either craft or buy the slime toys more consistently. Because I would love to be able to give each corral a slime toy that matches. I think it's really cute for them to just be able to play around with them. I'm sure this will get more and more ridiculous as I come across more and more Yoki slimes, because they only show up every now and then, and something about my brain does not allow me to just, like, let them go. I think we'll end there, though. We don't have any more calls. We'll go through the Pronto Mart. Ooh. We have one of these. Cool. Okay. I definitely have new favorites. The baddie slimes, the angler slimes, I am genuinely considering. I did this mostly because I only had one Tangle slime and couldn't get a hold of another one. I couldn't manage to get a second or third Tangle slime, so I just put them together because the combination was cute. But it's definitely one of the ones I would consider, like, moving one of these other corrals out into the back area over there and getting another batch of them, because I think they're adorable. They just also happen to look the best with the Tangle slimes. Because, unfortunately, all the rest of them, all of the rest of the meat slimes are brown. Or gray. blue flower is adorable. Okay, we're ending. We're ending stream. We're ending the stream. There we go. So I have to go to work. I've stayed 15 minutes past what I wanted to. Oh boy, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna hopefully do another stream this week at some point. I just don't know when. It's a goal though, because I want to get back to Minecraft at some point, and I think streaming might do it. Because I have an idea. I want to do a dragon. I keep talking about it, and then I don't do it. But I'm gonna do it. Okay. Bye-bye.